So good evening. Welcome back to the question paper analysis of UGC NET English, December 2021, Shift 1. And this analysis is offered by Professor Academy, Chennai. And today we are going to discuss questions from 56 to 60. And question 56, potato is a 16th century borrowing into English from. So which language? From which language did English borrow this word potato from? Option A, French, B, German, C, Norwegian, D, Spanish. So let's go to the answer and check out. So answer is D, Spanish. So what we can expect, this kind of question also came in the previous question paper. So these days they are check whether the origin or the etymology of a particular word. Now, especially questions like this, a word came from or simply put, borrowed words or loan words. So you have to pay attention to loan words in English. So we can expect, last time it came, this time also we have a question from loan words. We can also expect a similar question the next exam. So what we can do, let's look at some more words borrowed from Spanish and other languages. From Spanish, we get, English borrowed these words and also other words from Spanish. We have tomato, potato, chocolate, cockroach, mosquito, salsa, dance. Then let's see some of the words borrowed from French. We have buffet or buffet, then champagne, déjà vu, fiancé, rendezvous. Rendezvous is a arranged meeting or a meeting between pair of lovers. Then we have German. From German, English borrowed hamburger, kindergarten, leitmotif, which is a device or kind of a recurrent element in literature. Then waltz, dance form. Then zeitgeist, Z-E-I-T-G-E-I-S-T, zeitgeist, which refers to the spirit of the age. Right? Then we have Norwegian. From Norwegian, we have a lot of words borrowed from Norwegian. So here are few. Fjord, F-J-O-R-D, fjord. Then hug. Hug is a very common word borrowed from Norwegian. Then we have lemming, a kind of a rat or a rodent animal. Then we have quisling, Q-U-I-S-L-I-N-G. Quisling refers to a traitor, one who betrays on one's own country or someone. So it is named after a general, an army officer. So it's a kind of an euphonymous word. Then we have ski. It is also from Norwegian. So what you can do next, so you can check out or make a list of words borrowed from other languages. All right. Then let's go to the next question. Question number 57. In Noam Chomsky's definition of grammar, which two features are drawn from mathematics? You have four statements or four words here. Capital A, complexity. B, abstraction. C, transformation. D, generation. Then let's go for the options. Option A and B only. In a sense, complexity and abstraction only. Option B, A and C only. Then option C, B and D only. Then option D, C and D only. I would say this is rather a straightforward question, because whenever we read about Noam Chomsky, one of the great linguists, we know this grammar, right? It's called Transformational-Generative Grammar. So the answer is a very straightforward one, in the sense option D, C and D only, transformation and generation only. So when we think of this great linguist, we think of his contribution, one of his significant contribution to linguistics, transformational generative grammar. In other words, TG grammar. So under this grammar, we study, he came up with this understanding. So when we say something, right, it's a kind of a performance. When we say something, when we utter something, what we get, in the surface or on the surface, it's called surface structure. That is what we utter, right? What we hear, right? That is surface structure, which is the concrete syntactic representation of a sentence, right? Which is tangible, which we can hear. So for example, when I say it rained yesterday, you can listen to it, right? So I'm also performing. So it is called a performance, one of his terms, key terms. And another is competence, the knowledge about English. My knowledge or a native speaker's knowledge about one's language is called competence. So in competence, we also have something called deep structure. So simply put, before you say a sentence, in your mind, in your mental lexicon, you form a kind of an abstract syntactic representation of a sentence. That abstract idea is called deep structure, right? For example, before we say something, maybe you have this kind of a pattern: it, rain, then you want to say it happened yesterday. So plus past tense. So you remind yourself, oh, we have to attach the past suffix, past tense suffix, right? Ed. Then we say yesterday. So this is the kind of an abstract syntactic representation of a sentence. So this we have in our mind, a kind of a mental lexicon. And this structure is called deep structure. And this comes out in the form of it rained yesterday. So that is the surface structure. People can hear that. So that is a concrete one. This is an abstract one. So in between, something happened, kind of a transformation. So this abstract structure is transformed into concrete structure. So this is one of the explanations given by Chomsky about how we generate sentences or utter sentences. Okay, so this is the essence of transformational generative grammar. But generative also means your native speaker's ability to generate as many sentences as possible, even sometimes new utterances. Right. So once you know subject plus verb, then you can produce as many sentences as possible. Okay, I speak, or you play, or you listen. You can keep producing sentences like this. So there is no end to it. So that is generative grammar. So put together, we have transformational generative grammar. Okay. Let's go to the next question. What function of English is exemplified by the use of English in India as a link language, along with a first language by stable bilinguals in well-defined social context? Simple. In India, along with our mother tongue, we also use English as a link language. So what is the role being played by English here? Now, when we use it along with our mother tongue, English, option A, auxiliary; B, complementary; C, equative; D, supplementary. So it's actually rather a general question. What you have to do, pay attention. Maybe is it A, auxiliary, if you say helping. So English is more a helping language, or B, complementary. When you say complementary, it completes something. So we use our English mother tongue, then English complements it. So it makes it complete. Or equative, both are equal, or you can substitute one thing for the other, or a kind of an additional one. That is option D, supplementary. So at least I narrowed down. Do you think it is equal? We can substitute English with our mother tongue, or supplement is only an addition, English is just an addition, or it completes the mother tongue, or it's only a helping verb. At least you can eliminate two. I hope C and D you can eliminate, right? At least. Then let's go for A or B. Answer B, complementary. In the sense, it completes, right? It goes along with the mother tongue. Okay. Then 15.9. Arrange the following language areas of the human brain in the order in which they involve in hearing, understanding, and saying a word. This is a bit tough question, and it's from neurolinguistics, from linguistics, but a particular area. So unless we are familiar with that one, and this is a tough question to answer, yet sometimes we can use the words there, and you can at least narrow down. Let's say, what is the order? So the question is from neurolinguistics, language areas of the human brain. So in human brain, we have a lot of areas which are associated with language. Okay, so that's the question. Then we have to arrange the following technical terms in the following order. First, hearing, understanding, and saying. So last, saying. So you think of like a deep structure, you think of something, or you understand something, finally you produce something, saying, right? So that is the order. So when we say something, it involves our muscular movement, like our tongue, lips, everything. So what I'm saying, Just think. So we have four technical terms here. A, arcuate fasciculus, A-R-C-U-A-T-E, arcuate fasciculus, F-A-S-C-I-C-U-L-U-S. Then B, anterior speech cortex. C, motor cortex. D, posterior speech cortex. So, of course, it seems Greek and Latin to us. At least when we say saying involves muscular movement, if you have that idea. So here is a word which has something to do with movement. What is that word? Is it arcuate or anterior, motor or posterior? You know, the motor, the word motor is at something to do with movement. So that could be the last one, because that is the order we have to arrange, you know, these words. And if you go for C, you can eliminate two options. For instance, you can eliminate A, because what is the order? A, C, D, B. Okay, eliminate. Or option C, it starts with the C itself. C, B, A, D, you can eliminate. Then we are left with two options. Option B, order B, A, D, C. Then option D, D, A, B, C. So either B or D. So this is how sometimes, even without knowing about the topic, you can eliminate options and you can narrow down these options to two. Answer is D, D, A, B, C. We will come back to this question again, you know, after looking at these terms. Then you may find this easy. Okay. The question is from Neurolinguistics, one of the branches of linguistics, not a core branch, but kind of a sub branch. When we say neurolinguistics, is a study of the relationship between language and the human brain. And science says that our left brain, or the left hemisphere of the brain, is associated with language abilities. If some damage is done to that part, the left hemisphere of the brain, and that can result in language disabilities. We may not understand or we may not produce speech. And there are two major areas. There are a lot of areas, language areas in the brain. The most famous ones, you have Broca's area, anterior. In the front part, we have Broca's area. That is anterior speech cortex. Then on the other side, we have Wernicke's area, posterior speech cortex, back. So this is towards the front and this is towards the back. Okay, this is fine. Then we have to know what is this anterior speech cortex to do with speech or understanding of speech. Let's see. Posterior speech cortex. Posterior refers to, back, towards the back of the brain, or back part of the brain. So that is called Wernicke's area, W-E-R-N-I-C-K-E-S. So Wernicke's area, it's just area above the left ear, and it was named after the German doctor called Wernicke. Okay, and this area is connected with the understanding of speech. So the order we are asked to arrange, these technical terms. So this comes first, because understanding first. So you understand first, then grasp it, then you produce it. Okay, so this comes first. Let's see. Then before we move on, we have to know this another area. So this is called Broca's area. So this is the front part of the brain, or anterior speech cortex. And this is named after the French surgeon Paul Broca, and it is associated with production of speech. So we produce. So that is associated with understanding. This is associated with production. So something should connect these two areas, right? And that is this arcuate fasciculus. So what you see on the screen, you have a J-shaped or J-shaped a bundle of J-shaped fibers, are kind of a neuronal tracts. So these fibers connect Wernicke's area with Broca's area, understanding and production, right? Without this, there won't be any connection. So this should come in the middle. Then finally, as we narrowed it down, motor cortex. So motor cortex is responsible for speech production, in the sense it sends electrical impulses to the muscles, right? Then we speak when we say something. So this comes last, towards the end. Now what we do, let's go back to the question, and with this understanding, you can actually easily answer this question. So let's see. First D, right? Why? Because posterior speech production, which is something to do with understanding. Then we go for arcuate fasciculus, A, because it connects this with the Broca, right? Anterior speech cortex. That is something to do with production. Then finally motor cortex, right? D, A, B, C. Okay. Then we'll go to the next question. C, empiricist or empiricist linguistics is concerned with. Even this, you need not be familiar with this topic. Why? If you know the meaning of this word, empiricist, EMPIRICIST, then the question is a straightforward one. A is concerned with directly observable sense data. B, innate language knowledge. C, investigation of the human mind. D, reason as a determinant of inquiry. So what is empiricist? It is something with the science. And when we say science, do you think they go with the innate language knowledge that is born with you, or a kind of investigation of the human mind, or reason as a determinant of inquiry? Yes, that is there. It is either A or D if you say more with science. But when we say empiricist, they're more bothered about directly observable sense data. So empiricist is someone who bases his or her research on observable data around the world. So you need not bother about sometimes this empiricist linguist, or just get to know the meaning of that English word. Then you can easily crack these questions. So with this, let's finish today's class. See you tomorrow with another 5 questions and their analysis. So thank you so much. And you can also subscribe to Professor Academy's YouTube channel for further videos. And you can also contact this number 75501000920 for joining the course. Thank you. See you tomorrow.